Hi friends, this is Jackie Williams, and today I want to share with you just a few quick tips using your Stamparatus, and I'm going to focus on using the Hinge Step Technique. And we'll be using the Woodwords stamp set, and this is our finished project. So you see we've got some cute hearts all in a row as well as an even background. So let's get started. I'll show you a few tips on how to achieve that look. Now I'm going to start with a piece of Very Vanilla, and this is 1.5 inches wide, well tall, and I've got a 6-inch piece here. We are going to trim this down, but I did find it's easier to just start with a bit longer than you want in the end, and then you can trim it down because it's quite tricky to get that heart exactly in the middle if you just stamp on the exact size that you're going to end up with. Now you'll see that I have put pen marks on the grid paper where I want this to sit. That way if you're making several of these, you can just put it all right back in the exact same spot, and I think that's a good idea. Or in case you have a little mistake, you can put it all right back in. Now the colors we're using are Sweet Sugar Plum, Rich Razzleberry, and Fresh Fig. So we're going to start with the Sweet Sugar Plum. Oh, sorry, let me show you. I have the heart on the Stamparatus. So what I did was I laid it down. Actually, maybe I'll just set it up again. Laid it down about where I wanted it to start, and then just push it down and pick it up. Okay, now I'm going to ink it up with the Sweet Sugar Plum, and then stamp, and then I'm going to pick up the plate and move it 1 hinge. And I worked out that 1 hinge is exactly, or pretty much exactly, 1 inch. Now I'm going to ink it up with the Rich Razzleberry. I'm not worrying too much about cleaning it because they're all kind of the same color, just slightly darker versions, lighter and darker versions. And then move it over 1, and we'll use the Fresh Fig and stamp that down. Now I am going to wipe it off now that I'm going dark to light, and I didn't move it down. Move it down. Now when you move it down, you want to make sure it's straight up and down in those hinges so it comes out nice and easy. And then move it down, and another Sweet Sugar Plum. Okay. So that's our finished piece. Now I'm going to trim this down. Let's say I wrote this down. Keep the height the same, but trim it down to 5/8 of an inch so it ends up with just a little border on each side of the heart. Now I will stamp the crumb cake piece, and I have ahead of time marked, you see on the grid paper, where I want this to sit. If you're setting it up, oh, that's from the other one. If you're setting it up for the first time, then you just set it where you want it to be and then position your stamp to suit. So this is creating the border. So we're going to use now crumb cake. Ink up the crumb cake, and we're going to stamp that down. And now I'm going to pick it up and hinge step it 1, 2, 3 times. And stamp again, and you see that it marries up just perfectly. This is actually why I picked this set, is because the images are just the right size for this technique. Now I'm going to flip it around. This is why I've marked it. Oops, except my sleeve keeps moving it. These magnets are so strong. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same thing again. So we've got a border top and bottom, and then move it back over to the original position. And you can see that I have this stamp on the other side of the same plate I was using with the heart. Now we'll go over to our right-handed side hinge, and I'm going to maybe move that magnet, although it's probably okay, and just ink that up with the Fresh Fig. I'm just going to get that extra bit off, and then put down our sentiment, a note for you. Okay, now that's the techniques for the Stamparatus. So I'm just going to talk you through the rest of the assembly. You're just going to adhere your background piece to a piece of 5.5 by 8.25 inch fresh fig. And I did do a little bit of inking around the edges of the crumb cake. And then you will mount, after you've trimmed down your stamped piece again to 5 1/8 inches long, you will mount that up to a piece of sugar plum 1 3/4 inch by 5 3/8 inch. And again, you can see that I've done a little bit of inking around the edges if you like that look. And then you can use the scraps from cutting your card base out of the fresh fig and just tear a few pieces, or you can leave them plain, but I like the look of tearing, and place those behind your whole image. And then I've just wrapped around some linen thread a few times and placed this on dimensionals onto your card front. Oh, and using the gold faceted gems, place those in between your hearts, because you can see that you have some gaps in between your hearts. So it's just nice to connect the hearts so that it's all continuous, like so. And then inside you can use the same size piece of crumb cake and a piece of vanilla, and you can use your Stamparatus again, just leave it set up as it is, and do a little border along the bottom of the inside of the card and also on your envelope, and this will fit in your standard envelope. So I hope you have learned a few things about using your Stamparatus and feel inspired to give that a try. This is Jackie Williams, and thanks so much for watching.